Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we untangle the murky waters of corporate filings and find the hidden treasures or sometimes the red flags. Today we're diving into a report from Bit Digital Incorporated. Get ready because this one has some interesting stuff about their presentation to investors. Now, let's get straight to the heart of this filing. We're looking at a report that tells us about a presentation the company is giving at a RedChip FinTech and DATS Investors conference. Think of it as a big meeting where the company talks to potential investors and tells them what is up with their business. This filing mostly serves as a way to officially say, hey, we're going to talk about this. And here are the materials. It's less about brand new financial numbers and more about how they're communicating their story to the market. What we have here is a Form 8K filing. This is like a special announcement that companies have to make when certain big things happen. In this case, the big thing is the company's participation in an investor conference and the materials they are using for it. They're letting everyone know that on the 4th of February 2026, Bit Digital Inc. was going to present at this event. This part called Regulation FD Disclosure is super important. It basically means that when a company shares important information with one person, they have to make sure everyone else can get that same information too. They don't want to give unfair advantages to certain investors. So by filing this, they're publicly sharing the fact that they're using an investor presentation at this conference. The main juicy bit here is Exhibit 99.1, which is the investor presentation itself. While the filing doesn't give us the full presentation, it tells us it exists and is dated February 2026. This means the company is likely talking about their current business, their future plans, and maybe their financial performance to date. Companies use these presentations to highlight their strengths and paint a positive picture for investors. It is where they tell their story, often with charts and graphs that make complex information look simple. Now, you'll notice the filing includes a big disclaimer about forward-looking statements. This is standard stuff. Companies have to warn people that statements about the future are not guarantees. They use words like may, could, anticipate because they can't predict the future with certainty. These statements involve risks and uncertainties, meaning things could happen that make their future outlook very different from what they expect. It's their way of protecting themselves legally if things don't go as planned. So when you see these statements, it's a reminder that the future is always uncertain and potential investors should do their own digging. What is also worth noting is that the company isn't just using this presentation once. They say they might use it possibly with changes in other meetings with investors, analysts, and even business partners down the line. This suggests that the information in this presentation is considered important and relevant for ongoing communication about the company's business. It is their toolkit for talking about their progress. Looking at the company structure, Bit Digital Incorporated has ordinary shares, which are basically the common stock that people can buy and sell. These are traded on the Nasdaq Capital Market, a well-known stock exchange. This tells us the company is publicly traded and subject to the rules and scrutiny of these markets. Interestingly, the company is incorporated in the Cayman Islands, a common offshore jurisdiction for businesses. This doesn't necessarily mean anything bad, as many companies choose that location for various legal and financial structuring reasons. But it's a detail that adds to the corporate profile. Finally, the report is signed by Samir Tabar, the Chief Executive Officer. This shows who is ultimately responsible for the accuracy of the information being filed. It is a formal sign-off that confirms the leadership is aware of and endorsing the contents of this report. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. This filing isn't about a sudden financial crisis or a massive new product launch. It is more about how Bit Digital Incorporated is actively engaging with the investment community. They're putting their best foot forward, sharing their story, and potentially seeking more capital or support. The fact that they're using a formal investor presentation indicates a strategy to communicate clearly and consistently with stakeholders. The key takeaway from this specific filing is the emphasis on communication and forward-looking strategy. While there are no specific financial numbers detailed directly in this 8K, it signals that the company is actively managing its investor relations. The inclusion of forward-looking statements is a standard practice, but it always serves as a reminder to be cautious and look beyond the optimistic projections. Companies in the fintech and digital asset space, which Bit Digital is part of, often face volatile markets and evolving regulations. Therefore, clear communication about strategy, potential risks, and future plans, as presented in their investor materials, is crucial for maintaining investor confidence. In essence, this report is less about revealing current financial performance and more about the company's ongoing effort to shape its narrative in the financial markets. It is a piece of the puzzle in understanding how they plan to grow and navigate the evolving landscape of their industry. Alright, that is our breakdown of Bit Digital, Incorporated's latest filing. What do you think about their approach to investor communication? Does this type of filing give you confidence in the company's strategy, or are you looking for more concrete financial data? Drop your thoughts in the comments below if you found this analysis helpful. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. Don't forget to join our Discord community for more discussions. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Decode.